My first question was, why this bike? Because you already have those bikes, and why do you need another similar kind of bike with little bit of changes? Hi, it was just 1 year back when Triumph with Bajaj launched two beautiful bikes, that is Triumph Speed 400 and Triumph Scrambler 400X. Now after 1 year we are standing here and it has announced another bike, that is Triumph Speed T4. My first question was, why this bike? Because you already have those bikes, and why do you need another similar kind of bike with little bit of changes? But you should watch this video because actually it is not little bit of changes, and you can see it on my face that I really enjoyed my ride. So right now I came to Kundamala and I was riding from their facility, and it was an amazing experience. Now let's go and talk about this beautiful bike. Before I talk about the bike, you should watch when I was riding this bike, because starting I rode Speed 400 in Bajaj facility, and then I brought this bike here in Kundamala, and you should actually watch it. So you watch and then I'll speak more about the bike.
This is Speed 400 which I am taking for a short spin, and then I will be taking Speed T4. So now let's go. Generally you don't tend to remove big bikes for a normal spin or small work. You need such bike which can be your secondary bike. Right now this is Speed 400, but now Triumph with Bajaj has launched Speed T4, which is more comfortable, practical, and actually apt for people who are looking for a bike for daily use. Now let's go and ride T4 and understand more about the bike. Here it is. We are riding new Triumph Speed T4, and it is one exciting bike. This bike is very lightweight and it's fun. The moment I've taken this bike in hand, it is just blending with me. You know, when you pick up a scooty and you don't think about it, you just pick it up, you have your work in your mind, and you just go on and on the bike, commute, do your work, come back, and that's it. You don't feel that you're taking efforts to ride a bike. I think this is what it is, and in this video I'm going to talk all about this bike, about how I feel about it, what is my experience, and what is the cost of this bike.
Last year after bike was launched, I took test ride and I decided to gift Speed 400 to my dad, because I found that bike to be powerful, very easy, and it was lightweight, and I really found that bike good. So I gifted it to my dad. He was very happy with the bike. And now, like, I am actually asking, why this bike? Why this bike? After riding this bike, I should tell you that this bike is very nice. It feels so good. It is lightweight, perfect power, and you can actually enjoy this bike. That is the best part. Now let's dig in more about this bike. Triumph is known for its beauty. And when we talk about beauty, let's talk about design. When you talk about beauty of this bike, it feels more or less like Triumph Speed 400. But there is a lot which is different. When you'll see this bike, you will find that majorly it's black. It has black frame, black exhaust, black handlebar, black fork protectors, and you know what? It enhances the beauty. Now when you see that entire bike is black, but tanks and its decal is what makes the difference. Tank has minimal decals with bold letters, and it brings the character in the bike. Next, seat. So Triumph Speed 400 definitely had a good seat, but this is much better than that. It has extra foam for pillion, and seat is really soft. Shape is really good, and even the stitches, they are different. Design wise, I really like the bike, and it is very comfortable. Like, yes, it somewhere looks like Speed 400, but it is very comfortable to ride, and actually you enjoy this bike. It has steel hydroformed handlebar, unlike aluminum handlebar, which is really good, and suitable for Indian traffic. Now let's understand about performance. So talking about performance, I was riding this bike and I rode in city, then on rough patches and on highway. I must tell you that this bike gave me completely distinct experience. More than that, the best part what I found was low end torque. And when you have low end torque, you get right power for your bike. And you know, I used to actually crib about low end torque in one of my bike. I'll not name it, but here I found it apt. Peak power you get at 7000 RPM at 31 PS. You get low end torque at 5000 RPM with 36 Nm torque. It is perfect blend. I always tell that torque to power, this ratio is very important so that your bike can deliver its exact performance for what it is made. This bike is really beautiful and I would say timeless. When I was riding in city, then in rough patches, I found that it's very easy to maneuver and it is perfect for city traffic, city rides and even for a short spin. So while numbers little bit show a difference, 0 to 60 this bike covers in 3.3 seconds and 0 to 100 it's 8.9 seconds. But the power which it delivers is really good, and at 100 kmph this bike is rock solid. It doesn't wobble, it doesn't leave the road, and it is fully under control.
This bike has 6-gear transmission and I am impressed with it. Now let's see how it performs on 100 kmph. So they said it rightly that if you want power, this bike is going to deliver power to you. Throttle above 80 really feels to take a little effort, but with that effort you are deliver the exact power you need for that high speed. And I am impressed right now for one reason. There is no wobbling at 100. This is amazing.
This is one major thing because there are many other bikes in market. You all know which I'm talking about. Once you take it to 100, your mirrors will start shaking. You will not be able to see what's behind you. You will have handle which will be wobbling a little bit. You will have heavy vibrations and that will make your riding experience really bad. But this bike is very good at 100 kmph. I've rode Speed 400, so that bike has a different charm. It has more power right from you start the bike. This bike, that is Speed T4, gives you power when you need it. And for that, you also need to take a small extra effort. That means this bike will deliver immediately as you start, and further when you need power, and if you give throttle, you're going to get it. Speed T4 has a longer wheelbase. USD fork are replaced with standard telescopic fork, which makes your riding quality really good. This also has monoshock suspension, but the travel is less and that gives you a better saddle height, which actually makes your riding experience really good. This bike is really good for streets and all the rough roads. Speed 400 has radial tires, but Speed T4 has bias tires. These are more rounded and have better road presence. Ground clearance of this bike is 170 mm, whereas Speed 400 has 158 mm. When ground clearance is more and when you have all these things aligned, can you just imagine that this bike can go not just on streets, also on off-road, a little bit of rough road as well as on highways.
Right now I am at petrol pump and this has similar tank to Speed 400, that is 13 liters, but there is a catch that now you can have more mileage with this bike as it has more and apt power, and there are so many things which helps this bike give you a higher mileage. So if you're planning for this bike, then definitely go for it.
Speed T4 has got a new exhaust and I would really like you all to listen to the sound of this exhaust. It's actually good. Now, this bike is for whom? Because this bike is kind of similar to their fleet, but I must tell you that this bike is for person who is looking for bike for daily commuting. More than that, for daily use, weekend rides, as well as taking this bike to a normal days. When I was riding, I told that this bike feels like a moped. I think I have actually answered that why Speed T4, because this bike is really delivering what it is expected to deliver, and this bike is for everyone. Now let's come to the main point, that how much does it cost? It costs 2.17 lakhs only. Why I'm saying only is that you are getting a Triumph bike with a superior paint quality, superior make, superior engineering at just 2.17 lakhs. So what do you want more? And this could be your go-to bike. I'll not say secondary bike, I will say go-to bike, because definitely our go-to bike is never a secondary bike. This bike is really delivering everything. It's compact, it's easy, and it's lightweight. You can check description for all the technical details. I have tried to share my experience and few points which makes this bike different. So if you have a budget which is a little small, this bike will definitely perfectly fit. If you like this video, do like and share this video with your friends who is planning to buy a bike. Thank you so much for watching this video, and see you in the next video. If you have any queries or questions, comment kar dena. I'll be more than happy to answer those. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.